What is up, Keepers fam? Keeper here, and welcome back to another episode of Skeleton Key Comics. Today's episode is going to be a controversial, words don't want a word, a controversial topic. I've been seeing some news go around about the Warner Brothers Discovery sale that is happening, and I want to talk about what that could mean and what I hope it doesn't mean and what I hope it does mean. So right now, as it's being discussed, Warner Brothers Discovery is up for sale. They are trying to find a buyer. There's been a couple of people, I think, that's made some bids. I think Paramount might have been one at one point, but they backed out. And now there's talks that one of the companies that owns the American side of TikTok, him and a couple families from the Saudis want to make a bid of, I think, about $71 billion to buy Warner Brother Discovery. Now, there has been some talks that if Warner Brother Discovery does get bought by Pacific People, they plan to scrap James Gunn and his universe and bring back Zack Snyder and the Snyderverse. My opinion on that is where it's going to become controversial. I don't want the Snyderverse back. I don't want to see it come back. If it did come back, I would prefer it to be on Netflix and it be an Elseworld story, not a main DCU timeline. I think if Zack is going to finish out his Justice League, that is completely fine, but he needs to do it somewhere else and not as the main timeline DCU. I know some people have been trying to make lies that James Gunn's Superman bombed and did awful, wasn't anywhere near as good as Man of Steel. And to those people, you are a million times incorrect. It did not bomb. I do not care about international sales. It did better than Man of Steel here in the USA, where it was mainly demographic for. Superman was created here. He was sponsored here. And his sales should be more impactful here. Does that mean his sales can't matter in other countries? No. Sorry, we got some flies. We're in that middle of season where it can't decide if it's going to be cold or hot, so flies haven't decided to go anywhere, and they like to sneak in when I let the dogs out. But the DCEU Snyderverse was a bomb. It was an absolute fail. The movies got worse and worse. The only good ones that were out of it was Man of Steel. And James Gunn's Superman was 20 billion times better than Man of Steel. I like Henry Cavill, and I think he does get screwed a lot of times here recently for being such a caring person towards the properties that he puts his time and effort into. They screwed him in The Witcher. Actually, I think that role was better for him than Superman. And I know you're going to say, well, the new guy isn't very muscular. The suit... Most of the Superman suits throughout the generation before Man of Steel, there was not a lot of muscle definition. technically, even the Superman costume itself, there's not a lot of, in comics, not a lot of muscle definition. You just know he's bigger. Now, there are some artists who define muscles a little more, but that shouldn't dictate your determination of, was a Superman good. The new guy did amazing. With the script that James Gunn gave him and his acting skills, he gave one hell of a performance as Superman and as Clark Kent. He made Superman feel more than what he was. Because to me, Superman most of the time is just a goody two-shoes smiles Boy Scout. And in James Gunn's universe, you get to see that out of him, but you also get to see other emotions. You get to see that he does feel more human than alien. He does have emotions that are fueled by how he feels and where he wants to go. So, my hopes for what's going to happen if the sale goes through. I hope there is a clause in the sale contract that makes it very clear that James Gunn and the other guy who is running the DCU cannot be fired. Their timeline cannot be erased, and it cannot be rebooted. They need to stand their ground. The new Superman felt like an episode of the animated Superman series. And I know there's some people who want to whine and say he didn't feel like Superman, Krypto's annoying, Supergirl's annoying. Those people apparently don't pay attention to real Superman comics. They don't pay attention to the character. They just want their feel. They want their aspect. And Zack Snyder's direction was not good. It was decent for a Batman run. It could even be decent for an Elseworld storyline, like where you have Ultraman and Owlman and people like them. Their universe is darker in tone, and that's what distincts them. His style could have fit that universe, but it doesn't fit a main DC timeline, because the main DC timeline is not dark, it's not grim. The only part of that universe is that way is Batman's area, and that's only for Batman. So I hope in this acquisition that there are some clauses that keep James Gunn and the other guy in power of the DCU. And if anything, I'd put clause that specifically states Zack Snyder's universe cannot come back. And I know that's there's going to be some people who are going to be mad and probably disliking this video. And that's okay. I'm not going to shut dislikes off. I want any interaction down below. Even just state, how do you feel about what I'm saying and the thoughts of how it's going down in the comments? Because we need to be able to disagree and still be respectful to each other. That's the thing that's missing in this world nowadays, is just being able to communicate, talk your opinion, and being open to criticism and wanting to learn from mistakes or helping guide someone in the right direction. In this case, there is no right or wrong, but I can say if the Snyderverse gets put back in place, then the DCU live action is dead. It's 100% dead, because the people who are going to advocate for it, they're not going to go watch it. They're going to get the same crappy movies they got and the same crappy feel that they had We don't need Henry Cavill back. We don't need Ben Affleck back. We don't need Gal Gadot back. We need to continue the direction that we're going with Gunn's universe. We need to have that animated comic feel to our superheroes again. It is the first superhero movie that hit past, I want to say it was either millions or billions in a long time, because Marvel has been failing bad here recently, and people are getting tired of superhero movies. And this Superman movie made me excited for superhero movies. There's only a couple superhero movies that I'm even still excited for, and that's Spider-Man, because Marvel seems to do Spider-Man well, and James Gunn's universe. I'm still an advocate about Doomsday. I'm going to watch it and hope that it's good, but I don't have a lot of faith in Marvel. And I won't have a lot of faith in WB if they reinstate the Snyderverse. Because we're just going to get the same crappy bull crap that we were getting. That's the whole reason that Warner Brothers is even in the situation they are, is because of the Snyderverse universe. They were so bad that nobody wanted to watch them. So, you can say what you want about James Gunn, but he understands comics. He understands superhero movies. And I think if you're willing to hold out, he's going to give you the perfect DCU. We got to see his Batman, and we got to see his Wonder Woman. The Trinity is what holds that universe together, and we need to see where that goes and how far it can go. But let me know down in the comments. Are you a Gunn DCU or are you a Snyder fan? I don't hate Snyder. I think he's done some great movies with 300. And even his Watchmen movie was good. But that doesn't translate well for every superhero. Doesn't translate well for Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, any of them. So, I feel that Gunn does need to stay. Gunn needs to stay, and the fans who don't like it, who want Snyder, y'all can keep rewatching your crappy movies. You can keep begging for whatever you want, but it doesn't need to come true. Gunn needs to stay. Let's make it official. Hashtag Gunn is DC. Hashtag Gunn is DC. I'll see you in the next video. Next video is going to be my comic haul. I hope you're excited for that. I know I am. I've been reading a lot. I've been purchasing some Exquisite Corpses. I'm now down to just needing issue 2, which I already ordered off of Whatnot. And I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. And then I've got the complete run. I'm trying to get they've hook, line, and synced me very bad. I'm trying to get the main covers. Then I'm trying to get the poly bags so I can get the cards. And now I'm finding out there's a special thank you one per store foil variant of the main cover. And I'm just sitting here going, y'all really want my money. You really want my money. But I can't wait to see what y'all have to say in the comments. Can't wait to read them, see where we go, keepers. And next time we'll unlock the door together. Fly, go away. And see you next time in the verse of Skeleton Key. See ya.